within is doing. The enemy within comes to provide an undue weight in certain areas inside of the movement so that when we set out to do a thing, it always lands like the enemy wants it to land. Well, we're going to try to unload the dice today with Allah's help. Inside of the United States government, there was a program from the FBI called COINTELPro. In the United States government, there is a program just like the COINTELPro without a name in 2011. COINTELPro is an acronym for a series of FBI counterintelligence programs designed to neutralize political dissidents. It started in 1956 and allegedly ended in 1971. We don't have access to find out whether or not it exists as they say it is, except for the fact everything that they were doing, they still are doing without saying so. So what good is it? Does it matter whether or not a person calls it sharecropping or slavery? If the Negro's still working for free? If he's still in the same field, picking the same cotton for the same master? So you can call it sharecropping if you want to, but slavery is slavery. Does that make sense? In the COINTELPro, they had something called informants. Did y'all hear me? Yes, sir. Informants were people that were inserted to become, for today's lecture's sake, the enemy within. Yes, the paid and directed informant is the most extensive used technique in FBI domestic intelligence. Now, this is not something I'm making up. This is out of the official documentation of the counterintelligence program of J. Edgar Hoover. He says, informants were used in 85% of the domestic intelligence investigations analyzed in a study by the General Accounting Office. The General Accounting Office is studying where the money is going. And after studying the FBI's budget, which today is almost $8 billion, they found that 85% of the revenue was going to pay off informants. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? The FBI had several different kinds of informants. One of their informants, who would be very, very much interesting to you and me as black people, is called the Ghetto Informant. The number of intelligence informants has been substantially larger in previous years because of the Ghetto Informant program, which, of course, this is back in the 70s, at its height comprised of over 7,000 informants. Look at this Ghetto Informant. The FBI began the Ghetto Informant program in 1967 in the context of urban riots and violence of the mid-1960s, and in response to instructions from the White House and the Attorney General. Who's in the White House? Who is it? What's the name of the office? The President. So there's something about the ghetto that is not regular field officers on a local or regional level. But the President of the United States himself is interested in manufacturing what is called a Ghetto Informant program. It says, although ghetto informants were initially used as listening posts to provide information on the planning or organization of riots and civil disturbances, many were eventually given specific assignments to attend public meetings. Did y'all hear me? Yes, sir. Of what they call the extremist groups, and to identify bookstores and other distributing extremist literature. When you study it, the most extreme group in the COINTELPro is the Nation of Islam. You had the Black Panther Party, you had SNCC, you had RAM, you had the Deacons of Defense, but the most extremist group was called the Nation of Islam. So if informants, ghetto informants, are going to be used, and they will have specific assignments, then some of them are here right now. Did you hear me? And they will go back and report. Is that right? Because they have a function. The low-level informant, if you are here, you're not getting paid that much, because the low-level informant's job is just to listen to stuff and go back and tell your boss. You probably don't have no insurance or nothing. No dental, no 401k or nothing. They got you through manpower. Oh, temp service agent. All praise is due to Allah. But you got another level. The next level of informant is one that is the agitator. They do get information. They do report back too. But these Negroes are so trusted by their enemy that enemy doesn't think they have to personally do anything themselves. All they have to do is lay out the freedom to that kind of informant that's an agitator to come back among the group and begin starting trouble inside the group with lies and gossips, innuendos, false distribution of resources, accusing leadership, so forth, so on. Then the highest level of agent inside of the circle will be one that hears, reports, agitates, and plans to be an individual causative agent for the physical attack on the group that they've been inserted among. They are here too. A brother in my neighborhood a couple of weeks ago asked me, he said that the FBI, they've been watching you. They've been watching your house. They over here. It was like a statement question. And I said, yeah, probably so. Brother said, he said, but ain't you scared? I said, no, sir. He said, was you scared in the beginning? I said, no, sir. Why should you be afraid? There's only two things that are present when a man sets a goal. The main things is him and his goal. Then one is the force backing him up to achieve it. And the other are the forces of evil arrayed against him to accomplish it. But if you are backed up with somebody's and a force greater than the force that's in your way, then the force that's in your way can be neutralized or eliminated by the force backing you up. So there's nothing there but you and the goal. All praise is due to Allah. We don't carry no weapons as Muslims. Did you hear me? Not a gun, not a knife. We don't have nothing. And yet we walk the earth heavy. to challenge the forces of evil and even put our life on the line for the sake of God, and our people suffer. All praise is due to Allah. Why? Our only defense is righteousness. The scripture says that no weapon formed against the righteous will prosper. You didn't get that in your instruction manual to your Desert Eagle, to the SK or AK-47. When you went to buy that sword or that 9mm or that 30 cal or 50 cal assault rifle, whatever you bought that you thought you were going to use to win, it didn't come with a statement that said, and no weapon formed against an SK shall prosper. Did it? No weapon formed against a machete shall prosper. If you get this 100-round clip, no weapon formed against a 100-round clip shall prosper. So if they won't give you that at Don's Guns, they won't give you that assurance at a gun and a knife show. But God says in the scripture that if you are righteous, no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. The greatest weapon you could have is righteous character. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. So, we're not going to win because we got some gun. We're going to win because we got some God. Did you hear me? We're not going to win because we can shoot a rifle at our enemy. We're going to win because we got the protection of righteousness around us. And since it is a guarantee that not some but no weapon, all we have to do is continue to pray, study, fast, enjoying one another the truth, enjoying one another the patience, be kind and good to all, and Allah will bless us to be victorious. I don't care how big the enemy's gun is or how great his plan, we will not be defeated. All praise is due to Allah. So when the FBI developed these informants, this Ghetto Informant program, another group that he called informants were the subversive and the extremist informants. Subversive informants were mainly inserted inside of groups to find out and to disrupt when people were trying to overthrow a government. Extremist informants were put in to disrupt a group that looked to be a little bit more radical, that was trying not just to make things better, but trying to replace things with something good. Did you hear me? God is an extremist if that's the case. Jesus is an extremist if that's the case. Because Jesus said that I didn't come into the world to hold it up, but he came to destroy it. Didn't he say that? He said that God makes what? All things new. Well, if you're making everything new, that means you're dissatisfied with the church. You're dissatisfied with agriculture. You're dissatisfied with the economy. You're dissatisfied with democracy. You're dissatisfied with communism. You're dissatisfied with socialism. You're dissatisfied with Judaism. Every religion of the world, every group, God is dissatisfied with. So God doesn't come to try to make everything better. He come to replace it with something entirely new.